Hello, Plannerettes. How are you? I am caught at the back here. Hope you are well, and thank you so much for joining me in this live goal setting session. If you are here in the live chat, make sure you say hello, just like Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. And of course, if you are watching on replay, I still love getting lovely comments from you. So make sure you do also say hello in the comment section, saying replay, and any questions or comments are all welcome. I do appreciate it all. Ronnie Cat, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so glad that you are all here with me today. We're going to sit down together and set some simple, meaningful goals for the month ahead. Okay, so we are a few days into May, but that's okay. There is nothing that says you got to start goal setting before the month begins. It's okay. We are going to start from where we are right now. Nothing fancy or overwhelming, just practical way to figure out what matters right now, like today, like here, and how to move toward it. And so make sure you just grab your planner, your what if you have a blank piece of paper or a page that you can dedicate for writing down what type of goals you want to focus on for this month. So the purpose of this session is I'm going to walk you through step by step a process to help us, you and me, identify key areas in our lives where we want to see growth or improvement. Okay, it's not about getting everything done, making everything all 100%. It's just we want to see some improvement or that tiny little step forward. And we're just going to take a moment to check in with where we are at right now. So it's always a good opportunity to see where we're at. So then that way, later down the track, we can see the progress. So we can't see how far we've come along if we don't make a little checkpoint right now. And then so we're going to look at what actually matters and make sure that the goals we set fit into our real life. Not like the fancy thing of, oh, I'd love to have this happen and I'd love to have that happen. Of course, that's all well and good, but we got to make sure it fits within the capacity we are right now, how we're feeling mentally, physically, emotionally, and we're not going to add any more pressure to it. Okay, so let me know if you are ready. Give me a thumbs up and say, yes, I'm ready for this. And of course, if you already have created your goals, you can still stick around and make sure that the different type of questions I ask along the way is something that you have thought of when it comes to setting your goals. Hello, Brenda. Nice to see you. Marianne and Plannerettes Assembled. Thank you so much for joining me. So the steps I will go through are the ones I spoke about in the video that I made last week, which is gentle goal setting, where we're going to create goals with no stress, no pressure. And in that video, we focus on what truly matters this month. So if you haven't answered yet the question that I posed at the beginning or during the countdown, so what's one area? Oh, that should be area. Let me quickly pop that. Make sure we have the, not capitalized. Let me have a look, see if we can get this right. That's a little bit better. Okay, so what's one area of your life you'd love to feel more aligned in this month? Okay, so of course there are a lot of productivity gurus and experts that tell you, let's go create plans for the next quarter or the next month, or even plan 1 year, 3 year, 5 year goals. They're good as well, but for the moment, for a lot of us, I know for me, where things are a little bit overwhelming and there's a lot of uncertainty with the different type of things that you and I are going through. Let's just take it one step at a time. And I think that's where we fall into the trap of putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, and like, oh, I should have something for the next quarter or the next 6 months. And I've tried that and I know I don't succeed, because a lot of times I don't even know what I'm doing the next day. Okay, so like I said, no pressure, no stress. So, oh, thank you so much, Ronnie Cat. Don't forget to hit the like. Mwah! I love you. Thank you so much. Yes, make sure to do that. And oh, that should be over here. See, this is the fun stuff that we, as a live streamer, we get to go through. So thank you for letting everyone know. Yes, please hit that thumbs up button if you love being here with the Plannerettes, and of course, if you do along the way find any aha moments that you go, ah, I'm going to apply that to my own goal setting. Hit that like button to let me know that you know I'm getting through, that I'm saying something that is resonating. So, like I said, if you haven't yet answered this question, I'd love for you to either write it down yourself in your own planner. So, but of course, I'd love to share for you to share it with me. The reason why is then when I go through the different steps, I can give examples that might resonate with what you want to feel more aligned with this month. Uh, we have, did we? Oh, hello, Amy. I didn't see there. Amy, nice to see you. Hi, everybody. Hi, Marianne. Took a nap and ready to go. I love it. I love that. Yes, I actually made sure I went to bed a little bit earlier. Than, than normal to make sure I'm up and at 'em by today. So I normally get up an hour earlier to, get a little my hair, sort my hair, and not have bedhead turning up with bedhead, and and making sure I put a little bit of lippy on, so then I'm a little bit presentable. So Brenda says, hi. Oh, no, that not that one. I'll go back here. Movement and exercise for me. I think you and I are both in the same boat with regards to making sure our physical well-being is being looked after. So we'll go through that because hopefully my own personal goal when it comes to movement and exercise will give you some ideas for your own. Okay, so make sure, let me know if you haven't yet answered what's one area of your life you'd love to feel more aligned in this month. Type it in the chat, or again, if you are watching on the replay, add it into the comment section. So if you are ready, I am ready. So let us go. Okay, so what are we going to do today? I actually asked on Instagram story, let me see, make sure I've got it here. So the question was, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to goal setting? And 50% of the followers on Instagram said breaking goals into steps. So, 50% have that difficulty. So they might have the goal in an area of focus or a goal in mind, but they don't know how to break it down into small actionable steps. So hopefully today we get to answer that. And then the other one is choosing which area to focus on, because a lot of us, traditionally, we have to have a north star for every single area of our life. And again, just like me, I tried doing that, but the wider your focus is, then your energy is divided into different areas. So we're going to today look at only maybe one, two, or three. So it's narrower. It's a narrower focus. And then that way I'm going to ask you the questions to think of and see which area of your life you might need a little bit more nurture, a little bit more attention this month. Not saying that the other areas of life is not as important, but for the moment we have to have a priority, so then that way we can put most of our energy into that. Ronnie Cat says to get healthier. Yes, so again, that's part of our physical well being. So hopefully, we can look at different ways that you can think of what goals can I. Set for myself for this month. Hello, Elle. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so now if we look at goal setting, so here The top challenge is breaking goals into steps. And then, for those of you who've been around me for a little while, I love looking at analogies. So then that way we can visualize, because I'm a visual person. I can visualize and relate, one thing to another. So then that way I can go, I have something to compare it to, or something parallel thinking. So if we look at goal setting like a recipe, okay, maybe you want to bake a chocolate cake. It's going to be a lot easier for you to bake a chocolate cake when you know the ingredients and the step by step things that you need to do to ensure that by the end of the bake, that you have a beautiful, moist chocolate cake. So if we look at goal setting in the same way, what do I want to improve or achieve in this month? Okay, so let's say for some of you, work out more, eat healthier. Maybe some of you want to study or learn or get a promotion. Okay, so that's the chocolate cake. That's the outcome, right? You want to be healthier, you want to work out more, you want to get a promotion, you want to study. Okay, so that's the goal. How do we get there? We need the ingredients, we need the steps. So this is how we are going to get to our goal. Is the goal is the destination. What's the tiny little steps, daily or weekly or regular basis, that will help us get there? Because we can't get there in one jump, right? We can't just suddenly go, I want to be 5 kilograms lighter by the end of the next 3 months, and then go, why aren't I there? Well, did you take the small daily actionable steps to get there? Did you know what the ingredients were? Like, putting your shoes on, getting up to go outside for a walk for 10 minutes. Those are the steps you need to get to the outcome. So keep this in mind when you are starting to think how to set your goals. It's a recipe. What's the food? I maybe this chocolate cake is not the healthy option. What's the food you want to cook? What are the ingredients and what are the steps for you to get a beautiful meal? That is what goal setting is all about. So make sure, keep that in mind when you're having a difficult time figuring out what goals to set. So Amy has two: physical and my physical home, decluttering and finding homes for everything. Me too. I have so many things I need to declutter. So I really love that. So to be healthy and declutter for time. I love it. So, okay, keep those in mind. And then I'm going to go through the different things, the different steps to get there. I love that. I love that. Okay. Next. All right. So the things that we need to do before we set any goal is reflect on the past month or the last, couple of months. So if you had goals set last month, let's begin by reflecting on that. Okay. So we need to consider, what achievements am I proud of? So, for example, for me, I'm working out. So I was very pleased with myself. But towards the end of April, my workout sessions, the number of days that I was working out had increased, maybe one more than I usually did, or a little bit longer than I would normally be doing. So have a think. If you had a goal last month, let's first celebrate the achievement you are proud of. Because without reflecting on our achievement or our progress, it's we're not training our brain to look for the good things, the progress, and the little tiny steps we've made. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't go and look at the things that you didn't do, but look at the things that you did do. Even if it's one more, even if it's 5 minutes longer. Okay, I want you to write it down, because writing it down cements it, and then you get to see it on paper. And then again, it's that moment of training your brain to go, oh, yeah, I did eat a little bit healthier. I didn't eat that extra bag of Doritos that I normally do, or eat, half a bag of popcorn while sitting on the couch and watching my show. Right? That's me. So even now, as I'm talking to you, I haven't been eating a lot of junk food. probably because there was none in the cupboard, but that's also that, but it is still an achievement that I'm very, very proud of. Thank you, Ronnie Cat, with the analogy. Yes, so I love analogies because it makes it easier for me to visualize what I need to do if it's a concept that it's harder for me to grasp. And I know goal setting because we've been taught different things of how to set goals, achieve this and achieve that. And I was like, well, what about for those people who are like, struggling over here in the corner, having a difficult time getting up, or don't have a lot of energy, or feeling guilty that I'm not doing enough. Okay, so this is my gentle. I don't know if you're seeing a theme going through a lot of my videos in the last few weeks: the gentleness, the kindness, the compassion. Because we are, for a lot of us, we're doing it tough. Yes, maybe not, compared to everything else that's happening in the world, but it is tough for us. We can't negate that. We're having a difficult time because I don't know about you, but for me, I know I'm a high functioning individual who, when it comes to push and shove, I can be in front of a crowd and make a presentation, or lead a group of people and manage them, and deal with big accounts. These were my past things, that my history in my old career. So I know I can do it, but at the moment, it's a little bit difficult. Whether whatever I'm going through with my changes in my life, right? It's really important that we go and look at what I am proud of. So, if any of you would love to share what you are proud of, because sometimes typing it down and seeing it out there will make you spot those things that you should be proud of and the great achievements. Then, also, the other thing we need to do when we're reflecting on the past is, were there any areas where you felt overwhelmed, where you had challenges that you faced, or lessons that you've learned? Because that might also help you in setting new goals for the month. Maybe you put on too much on your plate. Maybe you try to do, eat healthy, work out, study, socialize, and make sure you're meeting up with your friends, and then also trying to declutter your home, and then putting too much on your plate and thinking that, hey, I'm going to achieve all of this all at the same time and work at it each and every day, might be part of the overwhelm, might be part of the things that's adding anxiety or pressure for yourself. Okay, so then you go, okay, last month I tried too many things all at once. So I'm going to keep that in mind when it comes to moving forward for this month when I set my goals. Hello, Tiger for Life. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here so much. All right. So, reflecting on the last month is really important because it'll help us and help you understand where you are right now and what areas might need more attention. All right. So, let's quickly have a look. So today, the planner printable that I'm going to use when I plan is part of my Ultimate Planner Bundle printable. So in it, there is a Wheel of Life goals tracker. So if you saw that video of mine where I talked about gentle goal setting, I talked more a little bit about the Zig Ziglar Wheel of Life methodology that I use. So there's 7 key areas of focus. You might have seen other iterations of it. I think Maxi Life has 8, and then there's Life of 10. So these are just the general key areas, so you can name them different things and different headings. So in the Ultimate Planner Bundle printable, which you can find, let me quickly pop that in the chat. So if you haven't purchased that, hopefully if you've got the newsletter, that I sent out yesterday, there is a discount code for the next 2, 3 days that will allow you to get 15% off. If you didn't get a newsletter, you haven't signed up, just just DM me, or my email address is in my bio in here in on YouTube. Okay, so it's got the wheel of life. This is where we're going to write down our goals and the actionable steps we're going to take for the month to get towards there. It also includes a mid-month check-in, and then at the back it has an end of month check-in reflection, because it's important we go and check up on our progress. So when it comes to finding out what goals we want to go and focus on for this month, I want you to think of these questions. Okay. So actually, sorry, before we do that, let's quickly look at the 7 key areas of life based on Zig Ziglar. And so what I've done with this wheel of life, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, with this wheel of life, originally I had written down the headings of each one, but I've left it blank because, like I said, you might want to name it differently. But for today, I'm just going to label them. I've got my little labels already written out. So to identify the key areas of life that's important to us, this might include, okay, you might want to look at your spirituality. Okay, so this can mean being mindful, doing meditation. If you're a spiritual or religious person, you might want to do read your scripture in the morning, to be in touch with your religion. So spirituality, it's your sense of peace and mindfulness and what your purpose is, and have that. If you have, like I said, if you are religious, your faith or deeper connection. So have a think. Is that an area of my life that I want to focus on for this month? The next one, area of focus based on Zig Ziglar, is your mental well-being. So again, this can include your mindset, right? Not having those negative thinking, not letting self-doubt creep in, and your emotional well-being as well, working on making sure that you are aware of your moods and your feelings, so then you are in a better position to be able to respond rather than react. So for me, I know, logging my mood in the morning is one of the goals and habits that I do, because I am so quick to from zero to crankiness for no apparent reason. And so I need to make sure, I need to keep myself in check and know that if I'm not having a good day, that I am doing something that makes me feel better. All right. So for a few of you, your physical well-being might be a focus this month. So I'm going to just label this little pie here. So physical. So I know already Brenda and Amy and myself, we're going to look at the physical well-being. So this is your energy level, your movement, your rest, how you're sleeping, how you're eating. So Ronnie Cat as well, being healthy, right? So how you're eating, is this going to be one of the main focus you're going to look at for this month? And then there is the family and home. So I know Amy said decluttering. So this could be both family, spending more time with your husband, your partner, your children, and or looking after your home. Like for me, I know decluttering is an important focus area for me. So this is your relationship with your loved ones and the environment you create and live in every day. Because guess what? Our physical environment also affects our mood and our energy level. So is that going to be a focus that you want to look at, or an area of life you want to look at for the month of May? And then the other one is your social connections. It is important that we do not isolate ourselves, because as human beings, it is our nature to connect, to be part of a community, because our brain is actually still made for, the caveman days. By being part of a community, being part of a social connection, it allows us to think that we are supported, we are safe, that, if anytime we feel overwhelmed, that we have a social system that we can rely on, as well as help right? So, maybe you might have neglected your social relationships, your friendship, your support system, and those meaningful connection because you might have been busy with work or you might have been studying. And so it's not that, your studies and your work gets neglected by also going out too much. You got to have a balance. So social connection, one of the things you want to look at, maybe catching up with friends or messaging or calling family, loved ones that you haven't talked to for a while. So, really important is social connection one of your goals for this month. And then, of course, there is career. All right. So, career is your work, your business for, Elle and I and anybody else here who are content creators. They are our creative endeavors. Oh, that one, creative endeavors. Anything that gives you that sense of purpose and contribution. Is that going to be a focus for you this month? Maybe you want to, there is a new position you would like to go for. What are the things you need to do to ensure that you are in the best frame of mind and experience and skill that moves you up to the next level? Is that your focus for this month? And then finally, so this is in no particular order, all right? Finally, is your financial well being. How are you managing saving or your feelings about money? Are you anxious about it? Are you, scared that you don't know where the next money's coming from and your bills are coming in and you're getting lots of letters, the reminders, the disconnection letters, which is how we were, back in 2017, 2018, when before we started to put our goal to get ourselves out of debt. So, is that causing you stress at the moment? Is that causing you anxiety? Is that too overwhelming that every time a bill comes in, you're trying to figure out where am I going to find the money? Okay, so think about which of these areas you'd like to focus on for the month. And remember, it's okay to just choose one or two, and that's it, right? To focus on. You don't have to try and have a goal and actionable steps and habits and routines for each and every one of these. Because if you're like me, who is already overwhelmed and is already anxious, I don't have the capacity to put too much on my plate. So again, this is our permission to just focus on one or two things. Okay, so really, really important. Um, Elle says, May is a big change month for me, and I'm working on that focus. I love it. Okay. So I love also that awareness. It's important that the first step to any change is being aware that we need to make the change. Because sometimes I know for me, I know, oh, I got to exercise more, but then I don't do anything about it. But it's still a win because I know, like, I'm not denying that I need to add more movement into my day. I love that. And Ronnie Cat also spiritual and declutter as well. I love that. I'm loving this that you guys are thinking about which of these areas do I need to focus on for this month. And we're just taking it one month at a time. I mean, of course, if you want to, if you're one of these that do follow a quarterly basis and you don't feel like you want to do monthly goals, I like to do monthly goals is because I know for the moment, the season that I'm in, the way my life is, each month is going to be different. But if you know for yourself that your month in, month out is very similar, your job is a stable 9 to 5 and the kids are at school, or you're retired and you have a pretty similar daily habits and routines and maybe just some stuff missing, then maybe you can go and create goals for the next 2 months or for the next quarter. Again, work with how your brain works and what your lifestyle is. How are we going so far? Are we good when it comes to having a look at which key area of focus that you might want to have a look at for this month? It's okay. We're going to go through deciding which area. But just want you to know these are the 7 key areas of life based on Zig Ziglar's Wheel of Life. Again, you can change the headings of these that make more sense to you. Social might be connection, career might be entrepreneurship, okay, or you know, um, getting back into the workforce. Whatever it is, name it the way that would make sense to you. Okay, so choosing which area to focus on. Because remember, for me, I know before I started doing my gentle planning, I used to think I had to have a goal and actionable steps for everything for me to feel successful in my planning, in my goal setting, and in the areas of focus. So, how are we going to choose which of these 7 to focus on for this month, to make a top priority? So, first question to ask is, ask yourself, what's currently draining my energy or making me anxious? Okay, so for me, my example is my physical well being. I know I should be kinder to myself when I look at myself in the mirror and not say the things that I say to myself that I would not say to a friend of mine. And my husband goes, "Hey, stop being mean about my wife," because here I am, pinching my stomach, my clothes not fitting well, and my energy level is down, and I'm not getting outside and getting fresh air. And my vitamin D levels are so low. Okay, so this is making me anxious because I know if I don't do anything about it, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And especially, from what I've been reading about perimenopause, it's important that I start doing this right now and not wait until something really bad happens. So for me, okay, so when you are thinking about what, your priorities, so for me, that's probably in the top 3. So I'm going to put a number 1. Okay, so we're still deciding. We haven't locked it in yet. But what's currently draining your energy or making you anxious? Is it money? you know is it your home, right? So for me, I know I've got boxes here and I need to declutter it, okay? Or I haven't talked to my loved ones, or I haven't gone out and met friends for coffee, or my mood is all over the place and I'm so stressed and I'm anxious and my emotional level is heightened. Okay, so have a think, which one is draining your energy? And then the other question, sorry, the other question to ask yourself is, what's one area that if I improve it will help everything else feel a little bit easier? Okay, so what out of these 7 key areas of life that if I work on it a little bit more this month, it will make things easier. So let's say for Amy and I, decluttering our home and making sure we're getting rid of stuff that has been in our cupboard for 8 years, or those boxes that we want to keep, because just in case we need to sell our, phone on eBay. But I've not touched those boxes for the last 8 years. I think I still have box for the iPhone 10 that I don't have the iPhone 10 anymore. Right? So, what's one area that, if improved, would help everything else feel a bit easier? So, for me, it is my content creation, which is my career. If I maybe create more content that'll help bring in more income, because for me as a content creator, I have my printable downloads, I have my YouTube channel, which is monetized. So the more views that you guys do, that helps my channel a lot. YouTube algorithm will push it more to like-minded people like us, and it'll help my AdSense. So all the ads that you see running through, people's YouTube videos. So of course the advertisers pay YouTube, and then YouTube pays the creator to have to be creating content, so the more people stay on YouTube. So for me, I want to focus on looking at what else can I do for my career, for my content creation that will help create more income for my family's household. So for me, that's probably going to be one of my top priorities for the month. So have a look. Yes, drink more water. Thank you, my darling. Drink water. Exactly. Thank you so much, Veronica. Okay, so what's one area that if you've improved will help everything else feel a little bit easier? Maybe, just chatting to a friend, maybe catching up for coffee, or maybe even taking yourself out for a coffee or a movie yourself will help your spiritual well being, because that helps you be mindful. You're looking after your well being, your self care. Or if you know that you want to learn a little bit more, that maybe like me, brain fog can just is visiting more often than not, what mental activities can I do? That could be the creativeness, my paint by numbers, and sudokus, or word puzzles, okay, or studying. Have a look which of these areas that if you just improve that 1% would help everything else feel a little bit easier. Okay, so are you so far trying to figure out which top priority, or which areas of your life you might look at a little bit more than the others? These are the questions you want to ask yourself. So instead of going, oh, we've got to do this for this, and this, and this, it's one of which of these areas will help move the needle and make things a little bit easier for you in the coming months. And also just remember, what season are you in right now? Mentally, emotionally, physically? If you know that you have a lot on your plate already, just focus on one thing. If emotionally you're not feeling well and find yourself being sad for no reason, maybe, ask yourself, have you been outside? Have you connected with friends? Are you surrounding yourself? Even things like joining us here, are you surrounding yourself with people who are supportive, who understands the same thing? Because sometimes it's so much easier not to do anything. The law of inertia. When you don't move, you don't move. But when you start to do one little thing at a time, it'll start gathering momentum, right? So just be kind to yourself. If you know that your capacity is already very close to 100%, or maybe spilt over already, and you feel like you're not able to fit anything else in, what is it that will make you feel happy? What is it that will bring a little bit of joy? It might be um, going out dancing. I know I haven't gone out dancing for a long time, all right? But just know, where are you at the moment? And be kind to yourself, all right? Don't put too much pressure. Okay, so this is your chance. With these questions, this is your chance to pause and check in. I don't want you to judge. I don't want you to go, oh, last month I said I was going to work out 5 times a week and I only worked out once, or not at all. All right? No judgment. I just want you to notice. I just want you to know where you are. So then that way, when we start making the small actionable steps, when we look back later down the track, we're going, you know what? We've actually made a few progress, a few steps forward. And that is a win. Any little small step, big or small, is a win. And we got to start noticing the wins. So then we're training our brain to go, there's a win, there's a win, there's another win. Oh, I'm grateful for that. Thank you. I'm thankful for that. Rather than, I only worked out 3 times a week. I ate a bag of chips. I got cranky with my children this morning. Right? So the more we notice the negative stuff, the more it'll pop up. So our brain is good in filtering things. It's going, oh, Marianne says she wants to work out more. what sort of things can we bring into her, into in front of her to go that'll say work out more. Somehow you'll notice a lot of things that are like, oh, I would like to try that workout. Oh, I'd like to try that healthy recipe. Okay, so this is not for you to judge, it's just for you to notice where you're at and where you might be right now. Okay, so for me, the other one, what did I say? Where am I emotionally? Probably the third one I'll see is my mental well being. So I want to study, I want to learn a little bit more that leads into my career or my content creation about membership. So I have talked about, maybe creating a membership, a paid membership for my content creation, but I'm still a little bit scared because I just don't know. I think I'm more scared not so much of doing it, but the possibilities of it going wrong. So I'm more scared of the emotional chances that if things don't go wrong, that the what will they think, blah blah blah. But remember, my husband says, why worry about it twice? Worry about it when they do. If they start thinking that you're a failure, or you're no good, think about it then. Why are you thinking about it now and stopping yourself from the opportunity to try? At least try. And I think I'm more scared of the emotional what ifs rather than failing the actual thing. So that's my head, and I need to get through that. So for me, based on these questions we ask, I know my physical well-being, my content creation, and maybe looking at more into membership. So let me know through these questions. Those of you that have already answered about movement, being healthier, decluttering their home, being spiritual, what other areas of focus that you go, oh, actually, let's put that as one of the top priorities, because if we work on that and we improve that a little bit, that's going to help this area of focus. So I know for me, if I could, concentrate on looking, being more intentional and putting more effort in my content creation, guess what? That's going to make financial well-being a little bit easier. So there's the knock-on effect. My physical well-being, I know that if I'm working out and I'm getting myself outside, that's going to help affect my mood, right? For me, it's the mood that can get in the way when I start to have those self-doubt and limiting beliefs. So which of these areas, one, two, or three things, are you going to focus? Is it a little bit different from what you had written down or let me know at the beginning? So write down one, two, or at most three of these life areas to focus on this month. Okay, so if you are liking this live session where we're going through the type of questions to ask when it comes to what to focus on for this month, I'd love for you to hit that like button. I would so appreciate it so much. We've got the six on there, so thank you for those. And if you haven't yet, and if you're enjoying it or just enjoying my company, give it a thumbs up. All right, so the next step, remember I talked about the recipe? Okay, so if we want to make a chocolate cake, we need to know what the ingredients are and we need to know what the steps to take to make them. So and one of the challenge that I got when I asked this poll on Instagram was breaking goals into steps. So now let's go have a look at that. So breaking down our goals. Okay, so I'm going to let's take these. So it's not that my spirituality is, because I know now for me, my mindfulness, which is my meditation, I do that regularly, if not every day, at least 4 to 5 times a day. So my family and home, look, what I'm doing with my home is I'm decluttering one box at a time. So I do have that in my daily habits and routine, but it's not the main focus. But I'm doing the minimum that I need to do to ensure that I'm not neglecting that, and it's not that I'm not no longer decluttering or cleaning the place, but it's not the main focus. The financial well-being, look, I know we need money, okay, but that is not the main focus, because I'm hoping by working on my content creation and career it'll have a knock-on effect. My social well-being, look, my husband and I have been because the older one now is able to look after the younger one, and we can go out for an hour or so for drinks, take my husband out so he can have his beer because he needs his self-care too. And so that is quite well. And of course I have you guys here and my online content creation buddies to keep me in check. So that's okay. That's not a main focus. So physical 1, 2, and 3. So number 1, I know for sure that is my main focus. If nothing else, I need to make sure I'm looking after my health. I'm looking after my movement and getting my vitamin D up at least. Okay. So I'm going to put that aside. And so we're going to put here the physical. So let me just write it down. Let's have a look. So physical. Physical. Okay. So now let's get practical when it comes to breaking down our goals into actionable steps. So for each area you've chosen, set one clear, simple goal. So what's my goal for movement? Is to add movement to my day, 3 to 5 times a week. So let me just write that down. Okay, so add movement. So this could be exercise, this could be going outside for a walk 3 to 5 times per week. Okay, so that's one of the goals. It's clear, it's simple, it's nothing too difficult. Okay, so it's important that you create realistic goal that is going to be meaningful for you, not massive. So if I had put workout each day of the week, I know that's too much for me. So you might want to just put 2 to 3 times a week, okay, or walking outside 4 to 5 times a week for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So make sure when you are breaking down your goals, it's achievable. It's specific, first of all. All right, specific, yes, 3 to 5, okay? And it's achievable. Can I do that? Yes, I can do that. All right. You are doing a great job in your career as a content creator. You're a planner boss. Thank you, Ronnie Cat. I love that. I appreciate your kind, warm-hearted comments and appreciation of the content that I bring for you. And you know what? Little selfish thing here. All these stuff that I'm doing for myself too. And then you know what? If it's helping me that one tiny little bit, maybe it's going to help someone else who's exactly in the same position. Maybe different lifestyle, maybe different, we're different ages, we're doing different things. But the essence of it at the moment, things that are a little bit difficult. And so I just need to create those gentle, small, actionable steps. And I hope you too are finding value in that. Okay, so when it comes to goals, specific and achievable. So ensure that your goals, are, they call it SMART goals. So let me know, thumbs up or say, yes, I've heard of it, the SMART goals. SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. So when we're creating our goals, we just don't want to say, work out more. Okay, how many times? For how long? What type of workout are you going to do? So it's important this is the breaking it down. It's the same way of how to make a cake. Okay, you need flour. Yeah, how much? You need eggs. You need milk. You need cocoa. You need icing. They're specific, and guess what? They're measurable. So the 3 to 5 times, that's measurable. Per a week, that's measurable. Okay, so also make sure that you are keeping them realistic to avoid those unnecessary stress. If you have written down 7 days a week or work out 2 hours, 2 to 3 times a day, that probably might be too much too soon. So ease into it. Make sure it's realistic. If 3 to 5 times of a workout is too much because you haven't done any workout at all, maybe do 1 to 2 for only 10 minutes, for only 15 minutes. Make it realistic. Remember, depending on the season you are in. So if you know you've never worked out for a long, long time, trying to do a 45-minute workout off the bat, guess what? You're not going to like it. And your brain's going to go, I don't like this. And our brain avoids things that is not pleasurable. So make sure it's a little bit pleasurable. Now, sometimes some of them may not. So you need to follow it up with a reward that, okay, so I know for me, once I've worked out, I get to go and fill out my planner and mark down so the reward for me is actually getting to tick things off, color things, marking off my tracker. So I feel good about that. Okay, so keep it realistic. Yes, Ronnie Cat has heard of the SMART goal, so has Amy. I love it. I love it. Okay, so specific, measurable, realistic, and attainable. And make sure as well it is time bound or time sensitive. So, what do I mean by that? Is how many times are you going to do it? Is it for this week? For, if let's say for me, I say I want to lose 5 kilograms. When? I want to lose 5 kilograms in the next week. Now, that's not realistic. It's time bound because I've said I want it within the week, but it's not realistic because that means I'm not eating or I'm working out 7 times a week. Okay, so make sure you are setting a time range. So maybe 5 kilograms in the next 3 months for me. So then I know that's something that's attainable, that's realistic, that's specific, and it's measurable. All right. So did you pick your top key area of focus and are you breaking it down? What day to day or regular things that you need to do each day or each week will help you get to your goal? So remember, the goal is moving more, eating well, decluttering the home, being a little bit more spiritual, tracking. I know Claire, one of my content creation buddy, in that video had said she's going to track their daily expense or their expenses more, so then they know where their money is going, so they're not wondering where it went. Where it went is like, oh, we had this much money but now it's all gone. Where did it go? Oh, that $5 here, that $4 there, that whatever we picked up, they all add up. But because if you're not keeping an eye on it, they can get out of hand. So now actually for me, for the physical, it's quite easy for me to have an actionable step because I am doing an 8-week on Instagram. Lisa Fit has a strong 8-week summer, because they're in the UK, challenge. I signed up for their app, so this is not a sponsored post. I did do their I signed up for her app probably 2 years ago and did well, and I thought, hey, I've lost weight, so I don't need help anymore. No, I need guidance, I need accountability. So I'm doing the 8-week strong summer challenge, and in that it actually has 5 days work, 5 days of workout each week, 5 days workout. So I'm following that. So that's very specific. So it's an 8-week strong summer challenge, 5-day workout for 8 weeks. And so that's what I have put in my planner. So let me show you my planner for last week. So there's the full, there's the name of the exercise. There's one, there's another. I didn't get to do Wednesday, so I did Thursday. And then there's another one I did, and then I think I did that one. Okay, so I've written it down. It's specific, it's measurable, and I think it's attainable, and it's realistic because I have built up to working out at least 3 to 4 times before I started the challenge. Okay, so then I've got my start weight, and then I'm going to measure myself later on to see, just not so much, to judge myself to see, because I know after a week you're not going to see much change or progress. It might actually probably put on more weight, so I'm okay with that. All right, so that's what I have for the physical well-being. All right, what about you? Are you writing down those smart steps to get to the goal that you want in mind? Now remember, okay, this is just the start. We can always look into it midway and see how we're going. So this is not going, well, for me, this one, it's an 8-week challenge, but whatever you write down, the small actionable steps, right? We can always change it later down the track when we discover that, oh, maybe I need to do one extra workout, or I need to get out more, or that I can go this month that I have the capacity to work on decluttering one whole room or one whole closet or all the kitchen drawers. Okay, so you can change it later down the track if it's not in line with where you are at the moment. So don't be scared to like write it down. But what we need to do is we need to have a recipe to follow. We need to have the ingredients to know to get started. All right, so really, really important. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's aha moments, that you've never looked at goal setting in this way before. And then, so hopefully, again, if that is all we need to look at for the month of May, that's enough. Yes, there might be spaces there. All I could do is probably add some cute little stickers in there. Okay, so don't be ruled by the planner page that you have to fill in every little thing. And I think that's the trap we fall into. That, well, there's a space there, Marianne. What do I do? We leave it. But before, you know what I used to do? I used to go and, well, I'm supposed to have something there. And then I'll feel guilty if they haven't written there, and then it looks like it's empty. You know what? If you don't want to have all those empty, have just one page. Grab yourself a clean, fresh, clean page and just have physical or workout goal for May. And then dot, 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 the step by step. Okay? So make sure you're being kind to yourself and not putting yourself in a box that you don't fit in at the moment, or it's not within your capacity. Go and fold the page, put it away, and get a nice clean page or a small little page. All right, so really important that, because I think that's where a lot of us fall in the trap that, oh, there's an empty space. It may look like I'm not doing much. You are doing enough. Wherever you are right now, you're doing enough. Okay, so for each goal, what I want you to do, okay, so now we've created this, we now have to put in the action steps that we need to do daily or weekly or on a regular basis. All right, so outline the action step you take to achieve your goal of working out more, decluttering. So for Amy, maybe decluttering. I know for me, I'll put on my daily planner, and I think I put it in my to-do list for this week. Where is it? Okay, here. See, clean one box of clothes, or clear one box. So I've got all these IKEA boxes with all my different clothes, with jeans and t-shirts and tops and dresses and skirts that I have not worn for a long, long time, but I'm keeping them because what if I go and lose weight? I'll want to wear them again. But I've been saying that for the last 3 years. What if someone else can, have use of my clothes? And I don't think I may fit into those clothes again, even if I wanted to, because when in my 20s and 30s, much different shape. Okay, so create an action step by putting it on your to-do list, either on your weekly page or in your daily page, and break down the goal into manageable tasks that you can add into your planner. So little things like for me, for my spiritual well-being, which is not a main focus of mine this month because I already do it on a regular basis. So there it is. So meditate, okay? So because now it's starting to, I've been doing it for a while, it's become habitual, So I know in the morning, okay, after I've written my mood log, I'm going to go to my Headspace app and follow some of the guided meditation. So pop it into your habit tracker if you have a habit tracker. So I have moved into my personal, but in the Ultimate Planner Bundle printable, you have a habit tracker there that you can add all the steps that you need to do to help get you to your goal. So maybe here for eat healthier, maybe we can put Ronnie Cat. I know I've done in my habit tracker as well as my well-being. And I just thought of you when my voice started croaking. Drink water. We could go eat a piece of fruit. Okay, so make sure you're having your breakfast, drinking water. Okay, so add it into your habit tracker, or if you plan on a weekly basis, pop it into your weekly spread. Okay, for this one, there is a water tracker. So being part of being healthy, maybe one of your top priorities up here is go outside for a walk for 20 minutes, go outside for a walk for 10 minutes, go outside for a walk for 20 minutes, go outside for a walk, or go and do your paint by numbers, go and crochet, go and do some knitting, go and do some watercolor painting if your area of your focus is your spiritual and your mindfulness and making sure you're doing something for yourself. Add it to your planner because it's really important. It's all well and good. We go, I'm going to move more. I want to work out 3 to 5 times a week for 20 minutes. And where is the reminder? Where is the prompt? And then we fall back into this. I feel really bad because I said I wanted to do this and I didn't, and then I didn't do it at all. You need to put in the reminder. Because if you're like me, when it comes to the day, a lot of times I don't have the energy. A lot of times I don't have the motivation. A lot of times I do not have the capacity to make a decision right there and there. So what do I need to do? Past me thought, Marianne's not going to want to do this, so we better go and remind her, hey, do this. So even if it's, it says maybe go outside for 20 minutes, maybe go, you know what? When she's really low and she's feeling sad, she wouldn't want to do it. Maybe let's put go for a walk 5 to 20 minutes. So at least it'll help encourage her to go out, even just for a little bit. So planning ahead and putting these action steps into your planner is your reminder to do it when you cannot go and decide for yourself in the moment, especially when you're overwhelmed, when you're feeling stressed out, when you just don't want to. Granted, sometimes I don't do it, right? But then the next day it's there again. And then I'm going to go, you know what? I didn't do it yesterday. Okay, I might just go out for 2 minutes. I might just actually just step outside and just get some fresh air. So you need to not only break down your goal into manageable action steps, but you got to incorporate it into your planner, into your daily routine. Or like I always say sometimes, close the book. If it's just too much, and just pop on a post-it note that you put on your go for a walk. Okay? Walk. All right? Pop it in your reminder. Go for a walk. Until you becomes habitual, I think, until you start to go, you know what? What's after drinking water? Oh, stretching. Okay. What's after stretching? Write down what my mood is. Okay. After I've written down my mood, oh yeah, go open up my head a meditation app. Until it becomes, you start to stack those habits. Give yourself as much information, right? Because if you're like me, brain fog, you go, what's next again? You don't have to try and think because guess what? It's written down, okay? Maybe I'll fit into it later. That's so me, right? Holding on to my clothes like a car, but I can't wear. Just finished decluttering my son's toys this week. Yay, electronics and cords next. Oh yes, I threw out all our. Actually, we have a loading dock in our apartment building that a lot of people that the different op shops. I don't know what you guys call it here. It's St. Vincent's. All the other, places you can donate these things. We put it in a box so then they can pick it up. But then, of course, it's like, I think the fear is, what if I throw it and then I'll need it? Which is always the way when I'm like with clothes, is going, where's that white t-shirt that I hadn't worn for 8 years, but I really want to wear it now? And then you go, oh, we gave it away. It's like, look, if I haven't worn it for 8 years, it's okay to give it away. So, yes, you're like me too, Amy. Okay. So, pop it in your planner. Give yourself reminders, because especially if it's a new goal and if it's a new habit, that you need as much reminding. Okay. So, if your goal is improve your physical health, your action steps is walk 30 minutes 3 times a week, or maybe, put a range. Walk 15 to 30 minutes. So then when your energy and your capacity is a little bit lower, then you have a nice tiny little starting point, rather than going, 30 minutes is too long. Okay. Prepare yourself your healthy meals at home. That's another ingredient or action step. Okay. And schedule yourself a health checkup. So these things, so a lot of the times, I know for me, I couldn't figure out why my low energy and all these stuff. And it's like my vitamin D was very low. Like, there was low, then there was my low. Okay. So it's like that. Oh, Marianne, no wonder your mood is all up and down and you're feeling low. Okay. So sometimes it might not be a mindset thing, but, a physical thing. So make sure you are seeking professional help as well. Red Cross or thrift store. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. So the thrift store, there's people that, on a weekly basis will pick up things if you let them know that you've got all these clothes and toys. Yes, the toys for us, we gave it to our local daycare and they loved it, all these little things, books as well, that my teenage boys no longer read. Okay, so really, really important. The next step is committing and scheduling it. So like I said, pop it in your planner and commit to your goals by scheduling it with these action steps in your weekly, in your daily, or even if you go by off a calendar. I know some people just have their especially maybe workout, you have it all written down. And here's the trap that I fell into, by just saying I need to work out 2 to 3 times a week and leaving it open ended like that. And then I'll go, oh, okay, well, I'll do it later. Right? So schedule it in actual days. So then that way it's a non-negotiable, right? If you had to have a meeting with a colleague for work, you would attend it, right? It's a non-negotiable. Why don't we have the same courtesy and the same commitment when it comes to ourselves and the goals that we said is important to us? So treat these actionable steps as appointments with yourself, that it's not a non-negotiable. Give yourself the same compassion and courtesy that you would with a colleague, answering emails, returning those phone calls. Okay? Make it as important like any other meeting that you have in your calendar. Really important. So while we're at it, what's important is we need to get you guys subscribed. For those who have not yet subscribed, would really love it. There's more chance that you get to see my content if you subscribe and if you hit that bell. So then that way, hopefully, I'm your little whisper in your ear saying you're doing a good job. It's okay if you didn't get everything done today. Make sure you're taking your break. Make sure you're looking after yourself. Make sure you're putting goals that's aligned with where you are right now. Right, so the other thing that I had on here, so number 2, where's my number 2? Is career. So let me see, career. Okay, so for me, that is going live on Monday. Okay, creating minimum one, we call it VOD. Oh, I wasn't on the thing. I wasn't on the screen. Okay. where are we? Creating minimum of one VOD, so video on demand. So that's a recorded video per week. So this is per week. So we're being specific. We're making it measurable. Also, maybe 2 to 3 times per week, posting something on my YouTube community post, evoking those questions, polls, making you think, and giving you those reminders. Hey, how's it going? Like I said, I'm your little friendly planner, friend in your ear going, it's okay if you didn't get anything done last week. Let's start a new day today. Let's keep going. And then maybe 2 to 3 shorts, those short vertical. So the career here, this is mainly my YouTube content. So I also am on Instagram at Marianne Cress, but Instagram's not playing too well at the moment. They're having an identity crisis, and so it's very, very frustrating that my content's not getting shown to my followers. So I'm going to focus on my content creation on YouTube. You might see a little bit more of me. I've given myself a personal little challenge. I'll see how that goes. I'll just take it one day at a time. If you see the videos, you might figure out what it's all about. And let me know. Make sure you're watching them. And then I think, yeah, so those are small, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive goals. And then the other one, what did I have? So I had physical, career, and then mental. Mental is my learning. Okay, so I'm going to do maybe 4 to 5 times per week, learn a chapter of the book Predictable Profits. Okay, so I also have that. So let me just pop that there, just so then you can see. So those were based on the questions I asked earlier. I was able to determine which is causing me overwhelm and anxiety, which if I improve, this month is going to help make things a little bit easier, and where am I at right now emotionally, mentally, and physically. So this is sort of like the top two. If I have the capacity, I'll pop that on there. And I also did put that in my, where did I put my I don't know where I put my, here. Where is it? Predictable profits. There it is. Okay. So I've written it down in my to-do list as well. So this is the running to-do list. I'll make sure to add it in the description. It's one of the helpful ways for me to have an overview of all the tasks that I have set for myself for 1 week. So this is only for 1 week. Don't go to another page, because then you'll overwhelm yourself. And I'll pop the video in the link as well as up here when the live stream is processed, on how I use this running to-do list to help me organize my tasks for the week. Okay, so how are we feeling? Have we established what 1, 2, or 3 key areas of focus you might want to look at for the month, or if you want to carry it over for May, June, because everything's going to stay similar, May, June, July? Have you been able to break down the goals into small, easy, actionable steps that you can plan into your planner? So then that way, when the day comes that you want to action it, you're not having to try to think up of the steps. Again, remember, the goal is like the recipe you want to make, the food you want to make, and all the small actionable steps and planning it is your ingredients, and then the recipe, the step-by-step things you need to do to get you to your goal. Okay, so if you'd like some support with this, remember, I do have the um, Ultimate Planner Bundle printable that you can get. And if you didn't get my newsletter, there is a 15% discount code. So just message me. Don't put your email address on the comments. I don't want anyone spamming you. Um, uh, Reach me at hello, HELLO, at mariannecresp.com. Okay, so if you hadn't signed up for the email newsletter, let me know and I'll just say, Marianne, what's the discount code for the Ultimate Planner Bundle printable? So you get at the beginning of it is the Wheel of Life goals tracker. There is a mid-month check-in and of course all the different planner pages you need for the month. And then at the end, there is an end of month reflection as well. There is also a separate Wheel of Life goals tracker on its own. I don't know. I think it has at the back it's just grid paper. It doesn't have the Wheel of Life tracker. So mid-month I'll show you how to use this. So later down this month that'll be a video as well as a video showing you, which is pretty much what we did at the beginning. It's just reflecting on how we did with the areas of focus. So the Ultimate Planner Bundle printable, did I pop that in the, let me go, does that work? Yep, there it is. The Ultimate Planner Button printable will has the goal setting worksheet based on the 7 life areas as well as mid-month check-in and end of month reflection. So thank you so much for joining me in this goal setting session. If you have any questions at all, or if you wanted me to help you break down your goal into small actionable steps, just pop it in the comments section. We can work at this together. So I appreciate you so much. Now remember, the aim is to create a balanced and fulfilling life by focusing on what truly matters to you. Now, of course, all of these key areas are important to have the wheel, working properly. But at the moment, if your capacity is already to its max, we don't want to add any more pressure. We just want to be gentle with our goal setting. Okay, so feel free to share your goals in the comment section and let us support each other on this journey just for the moment. Okay, we're just taking it one small step at a time. And like I said, you don't have to fix every part of your life all at once. You don't have to be perfect to make progress. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining me in this live goal setting session. And do let me know in the comment section if you have any aha moments or any questions at all. Thank you, my dear plannerets. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Bye.